But the Sentencing Commission, like Congress, has not authorized or envisioned or articulated anything close to this kind of legal error being the basis for this kind of relief. And that concerns me because, as Justice Kagan said, you don't see anything suggesting that Congress wanted a do-over kind of statute, but you don't see anything from the Commission either. Your case would be obviously quite a bit stronger if you had the Commission having identified this as they have with some other things.
Certainly, Your Honor, but I think that what we should read into the Commission's silence on this is that these will be cases that will be few and far between where a court would actually find the circumstances.
Well, how do we know that? I mean, first of all, as Justice Alito says, I think they'll be far more common that they're brought, so that'll be a whole new docket, one imagines, of these kinds of motions. But how do we know that individual district judges are going to, as your word, be modest or routinely deny these?
Well, Your Honor, certainly we haven't seen in the circuits that have allowed it. We haven't.
But if you win this case, one imagines that could, supercharge the efforts to use this.
That's correct.
In fact, you would want that, wouldn't you? Don't you want this to be used more often?
Well, I'm just representing my current client, but
your legal position would.
Our legal position is that this should be something that should be in the mix. And certainly courts will take into account several things that I think would limit their exercise of discretion. First, they would take into the fact that there's the law of the case. If an issue had been raised, courts should not be revisiting it. Second, I think it's likely that these sorts of arguments will be made mostly in cases of mandatory minimum sentences, where the element of unfairness that arises from the error could not have been considered before. So we're seeing how the universe of cases where this sort of argument would be made is getting smaller and smaller. And rehabilitation is certainly an area where you would expect many motions to be brought in. There have been, but still the number of total compassionate release motions is modest. And if the Commission speaks more, will be even more modest.
Thank you, Counsel.